Hi everyone, welcome to my live creative time today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome to another day of creativity. I have got some fun things to share with you today, doing some different techniques and I hope you will enjoy that. Now before we jump in live, let me bring this live stream up on my other devices so that you can, I can see all of your comments there. Let me just get myself organized. Okay, bring that up here on my iPad. It's been a bit, my iPad has been a bit slow lately. I think I have a feeling it might be on its last legs, but I hope not. I've had it a long time though, so it might be. And I'll just bring that up over here on my computer as well. Okay, get this ready. Oh my goodness. If you are jumping on live, you'll see the red live button up in the top left-hand corner. If you don't see that, then you'll be watching the replay. And if you're watching over on YouTube, you'll definitely be watching the replay because I upload all of my all of my Facebook Lives over there. All right, just bring that up on, there we go. Great, got it, all good. Okay, we are all set up, ready to go. Okay, so thank you all for being here. Say hi if you are here live with me. Say hi if you are watching the replay. I love it when you comment. So I appreciate all of your support. So as you will see, I am back in my craft room. I am home. My daughter up in Queensland that I was looking after, who had surgery, she's doing really well. She's gone back to work. And so that meant that I was able to come home and get back into routine. So today is my first full day back. I just got back late last night. And yes, so just trying to ease my way back into the normal routine. Now, normally I go live on Mondays, but of course I was traveling yesterday, so I wasn't able to go live. So I've just switched it to Tuesdays for this week. And next week we'll be back onto our usual schedule of Monday afternoons at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Hi Leonie, how are you? Lovely to have you here with us today. You might notice I have got my brooches on today. These are two of my brand new ones that arrived while I was away actually. Did anyone used to watch the Flintstones back in the day? I've got Pebbles and Bam Bam and they are just super, super cute and adorable. So I had to wear them together, of course, because, you know, they're little besties, little Flintstone besties. Well, Flintstone and Rubble, but yeah, they're super adorable and I really love these ones. And in fact, Pebbles was the first one to sell out from this collection. She was really, really popular. So I was glad I was able to grab one of those ones. So how's everyone been? I did do one live while I was away last Tuesday. I wasn't able to go live on Monday because I was my daughter still wasn't able, well enough for me to sort of, you know, yeah, be able to do that. But I was able to go live last Tuesday. But I kind of feel like I've been away. Well, I've been away for nearly 3 weeks. So yeah, so how is everyone? What's everyone been up to? Has everyone been okay while I've been away? Has anything exciting happened or anything that you want to share? How has your crafting been going? Hey Julie, how you going? Oh, you love my Pebbles and Bam Bam. I know, right? They are so adorable. They're so cute. And the detail in them, to see them in real life, like there's so much detail in them. They're amazing. Yes, you love the Flintstones too? Awesome. I did as well. I've got another couple as well, so they'll come out over the next couple of weeks from the collection. And one from another, is it Hanna-Barbera? I think it's Hanna-Barbera cartoon as well. But I won't give you any spoiler alerts. I'll just yeah, you'll see them pop up in the next couple of weeks. So what other cartoons did you used to watch when you were kids? Let me know in the comments what were the cartoons, or what did you used to watch on TV when you were children? Maybe you didn't like cartoons, not everybody did, but they were a big thing when I was young. All right, so we have got a few things happening. I'm just going to move something out of the way. Hang on one sec. Let me just get this, move this over. There we go. All right, we've got a few things happening now. I just, before I forget, I'm going to share this one first. I've got my February cards and cookies classes coming up. I've got the class being held on 2 different dates, or classes, 2 different classes. So you can come to either one, or you can come to both if you'd like to. So we've got a Wednesday morning class on the 25th of February, or a Saturday afternoon class on the 28th of February. This one is based around the Kits Collection kits, the Stampin' Up kits, and you get an entire kit to create with, and then if you don't get it all finished in the class, you get to take the rest of it all home with you. So you get the entire kit. And then of course we also have morning tea for the morning class and afternoon tea for the afternoon class, with some yummy homemade cookies, and of course a cuppa of your choice. I've got lots of choice of different teas and coffees here in my craft studio. So love to have you come along. Today, the 17th of February, is the last day to register for those classes. So if you'd like to come along, you can go to my website and go to my events calendar, and you'll find it there. Or I did post about it yesterday with a link in the comments, so you can go there to oh, actually I sent out an email today. Did I post it yesterday? I can't remember now, but I did. Let me go and see. Did I post it yesterday? No, I didn't actually. I posted it the other day. I posted it back on the 11th of February, so I might need to post it again today with the links. But anyway, I will put the links in the description, in the comments now, just so that it's an easy access if you would like to come and join us for one of those cards and cookies classes. They are the ones that I'm holding this month because I've been away, so I couldn't design a full class. So we're just doing the cards and cookies with the kits, which is awesome. It means that we can still have a class, and we can still have some creative time together. All right, so let me find my link here. There we go. And I'll just copy that and I'll put that over into the comments. Hang on, I've got to come back over here to my video now. Oh, I closed it down. Let me go back into it. There we go. Hang on a sec. Cards and cookies, classes. And that should have the link there. Yep, that's got the link there. Okay. There we go. So that is posting in the comments. So you can click on the link there if you'd like to come and join us. Hi, Angelique. How you going? Great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Jenny. Great to have you here. Jetsons, yes. Oh, Julie's talking about some of the cartoons she used to watch. Jetsons, yes. Jetsons was also part of the collection that just was released, but I didn't get any of the Jetson ones because I did used to watch it, but it wasn't one of my ultimate favorites. Yogi Bear, all the Looney Tunes ones, Roadrunner. I know, Roadrunner was so hilarious, wasn't he? I loved Roadrunner. Wacky Races. I forgot about that one. I used to love that one. What was Penelope Pit Stop? Wasn't it? Penelope Pit Stop was in that one. I think she was my favorite one. And all of those ones, yeah. So you probably watched all the same ones that I did too, Julie. Ah, so fun. So fun. Yeah, they were great. I think, yeah, a lot has changed now. I mean, I obviously don't watch cartoons or kids programs and things now because all my children are grown up. Yeah, it'd be interesting to have a look and see. I think they're very different nowadays to what they used to be back then. So yeah, so anyway, so class is coming up. The next thing I'm going to share with you as well is something I found out about this morning, that Stampin' Up just announced that we have got some free shipping, a free shipping promotion coming up. It's going to be starting tomorrow, the 18th of February, and it goes for 3 days until the 20th. So with orders of $65, that's Australian dollars, or more, you will get free shipping on your orders, which is awesome. So that's a good saving, and obviously the larger your order, the more saving you're getting. So yeah, so it's a great time to, not saying that you need to place a large order, but I'm just saying, yeah, you obviously will save a lot more. This promotion is often good too if there was something large that you wanted to order, or something heavy like a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Those heavy items, when you're paying on weight often, yeah, or, well, no, actually, usually it's on value, isn't it? Actually, I'm just trying to think. Yes, it's actually on value. Those higher priced items, then, let me say. Yeah, it's a great time to save on shipping. See, I'm a little bit out of whack, aren't I? I'm a little bit out of sync with everything. I have been doing a little bit of work while I've been away, but in spits and spurts. So I'm a little bit rusty on some things. But you'll all forgive me, won't you? But yeah, so remember that free shipping. If you had an order sitting in your shopping cart, now is a great time, or no, from tomorrow the 18th is a great time to finalize your orders so that you can get that free shipping as well, which is what I'm planning to do too. But remember that the free shipping is for orders over $65, okay, Australian dollars. All right. So I think that is all the newsy news at the moment. Today, oh, actually, no, the other thing I need to tell you, which is very important. Oh, Leonie said, oh, you got an order delivered last Friday. Always happens. Yeah, it usually happens to me too, Leonie, but I was actually sitting on an order this time because I'd been away. So, yeah, I actually might catch the free shipping this time. So that usually happens to me too, because we never get heads up about the free shipping. It always just is like a flash sale sort of thing. Oh, that's all right. Well, at least you've got your new things to play with, so it's all good. It's all good. There is a special promotion at the moment for those who join Stampin' Up and purchase the starter kit. Now, whether or not you are joining just to enjoy the discount as a happy shopper, or if you're joining for the business opportunity, then that is totally up to you. But either way, when you purchase the starter kit, you'll actually get a free gift from Stampin' Up for joining, and it's valued at $86, and it is the new Stampin Positioner tool. And guess what we're playing with today? The new Stampin Positioner tool, because I was able to pre-order it as a demonstrator, as we always get to do. It's one of the perks of being a demonstrator, is we get all the pre-orders on all of these new things. And it arrived the day before I left for Queensland. So Amber's been having a play with it, and she's done a few samples and things for me and worked a few things out, which is great. And I've seen some videos as well, but today is actually going to be my first time playing with it myself. So so that's a lot of fun. I had a little practice with a couple of things just before I went live today. So Amber was showing me a few things. But I thought we'd have a bit of fun today and have a play with that, and I can show you how it works. There are lots of other videos out there. Lots of demonstrators have been doing lots of demonstrations on it. So you'll probably find lots of things popping up everywhere about it. But it's a really great tool, and it's a great one to have in your crafty stash. I believe that they will become available for purchase at some stage in the future, but they haven't released a date for that yet, and it sounds like it's going to be a bit of a wait before they do that. So we don't have a timeline or anything. That hasn't been given to us yet, so we don't really know how long that would be. So if you don't want to wait and you want to get it, the only way to get it now, if you're not already a demonstrator, is to join. So yeah, So the pre-order period has already ended for Demonstrators. That ended before the join promotion went live. But yeah, so now is the time if you would like to get that. So when you join and purchase the starter kit, you only pay $169, but you get to choose $235 worth of product of your choice. Anything that is available, you can put that into your starter kit. If you had a wish list, you might want to put some of those wish list items into your starter kit, and then Stampin' Up! Will automatically add the Stampin' Positioner tool as an additional item to your starter kit. You don't need to select it. It's not part of your $235 worth of product. It's an additional product that they're going to add to your starter kit, and you do get free shipping on that starter kit purchase as well. Now, if you're in Australia and you'd like to join my team, if you're looking for a team to join or a demonstrator to join with, I'd love to have you come and join our beautiful crafting community. We are called the Paper Craft Gems because I believe that everyone is precious and valued, and I do value every single one of my beautiful, beautiful team members. We have a great time together. We do lots of things together. We've got a private Facebook group where it's very active. We share a lot of things in there. We share our crafting together. We have showcase stamping. We have creative challenges. I give free tutorials to my team every month. I share all the news and everything. We gather together, usually via Zoom, each month, and where I can update everyone. We do some team recognitions. We have a team prize draw. We have a wider team as well. So some of our team members have had other people join with them. So we have a wider team as well, and they're all welcome to come to the team gatherings. And usually a few times a year as well, we do meet in person. And we usually have some that will attend each of the Stampin' Up! Events together, and that's always fun to share that together. So lots and lots of things happen in our team. But if you would like more information about that, feel free to get in contact with me. I'll be happy to answer all of your questions. Oh, just so you know, if you do join with my team, there's no pressure to sell products. You can simply join to enjoy the discount for yourself, which starts at 20%. 20% discount on all your beautiful Stampin' Up! Products. Who wouldn't want that? It's a great saving. And you can stay as long as you like. You can exit at any time. There's no lock-in contracts or anything like that. You don't have to give back your starter kit. You get to keep all of those products that you've purchased. Yeah, it's just a really great, it's a win-win situation. Like, it's a really great opportunity, and you can be as active as you like, or you can sit quietly in the background if you like, but you have the opportunity of meeting lots and lots of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators and other crafters, and enjoy a beautiful, fun community. Yeah, and so many other perks. There's the wider Stampin' Up! Community as well, and Stampin' Up! Demonstrator groups and website and all the things. So yeah, it's a really fantastic community to be a part of. So if you'd like more information, get in contact with me. But without further ado, let's jump on in and let's get crafting. So I'm just going to move my, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Before I do that, I'm going to add my links to the comments here. So if anybody is interested in finding out more, or if you are ready to join, if you've already made the decision, you can click on my links, and that'll you can go through to my join link. So let me just grab my links now. Where have I got them? Trying to see. Actually, let me put my glasses on. That's a little bit clearer. Sorry, you probably got the light reflection in my glasses, but I'm just trying to find my links over here. Here they are. They're way down because I haven't used them for a few weeks. Okay, all my links are here. I'll put that in the comments, and if you're watching on YouTube, all of my links will be in the description, so you can look for them there. All right, there we go. Okay, all right, so we are ready now to get crafting. So I'm going to cover up the camera while I tip it down to my desktop, just so I don't make you all dizzy. And let me see if I remember how to do this, because up at my daughter's when I was filming, I use a different phone stand that holds my phone, completely different to this one. So all my setup is different up there to when I'm filming down here. And so, yeah, I've been using that up there. So let's see how we go. All right, bear with me. Here we go. All right. See if I remember how to do this. Doing everything up really tightly, so it will be a bit squeaky and noisy. Get this straight, hang on a sec, and we are nearly ready to switch the camera over. Let's do a flippity flip. There we go, and we'll zoom in. I think it's not quite straight, but we'll get there. Let's straighten this up, there we go. I'll just pop a stamp set down there so I can see. Yeah, I think we're zoomed in fairly well. And I don't know if that's straight though. Is that straight? I'll have a look on the playback. Let me use my little, tilt that down a little bit. My little spirit level, my miniature spirit level. It's a very handy little tool. There we go. I didn't actually take that away with me when I went away, so I was just having to do it all by eye. There we go. And there's a big splodge of something here on my desk which I noticed, and it's been bothering me ever since I sat down. So let me just see if I can get that off. It's probably just a bit of ink or something. No, it doesn't want to come off. Let's try a little bit of hand sanitizer. Did you know that hand sanitizer will often remove things like ink and dirty marks like that? So this new desktop that I've got, this new background, it's a little bit textured compared to my old one, so things tend to stick to it more and it's harder to get them off. Well, it's coming off a little bit, but it's not going to come off completely. All right, well, I'll just have to ignore that. You didn't see anything. All right, now I've made my desk all wet. Okay, we won't worry about that. All right, so I've got a few stamp sets out to have a little play with, because I'm going to show you a few different techniques using the new Stampin Positioner. So, the Stampin Positioner comes all boxed up in the box, like that, or all in plastic and everything. You get an instruction booklet that comes with it, and it's in the different languages. So the first language here is English, and it just tells you what's in the what comes in the box, and then it tells you some basic some basic ways of using it and some tips. So yeah, so you can read through those. Okay, and then it's in the other languages as well, and then you've got some imagery on the background just showing you some basic usages for the Stampin Positioner. Okay, all right, so this is how it comes. Hang on a minute, I've just got to take this off. It comes with the base plate. You get these two magnets, which are very thin magnets, and they've got this little flap on the side, so that, like a little handle, so you can pick them up, which is great. So you get two of those. You get, now I've already put some stamps on my plates, they're already set up ready to use, but you get two plates. You get this large one, which goes on these little springy pegs here. Okay, so that's the large one. And then you also get this little one, which is great for tile stamping. Okay, and so that one fits on there, and you can move it across the pegs like that. I'll show you how to use that. Now the plates have both got grid on them, which helps you to line things up, which is awesome. And I just realized my camera is up a little bit higher than I thought, so I'll just move that up a bit. With the base plate, it's got these pegs along the top, which is for this small plate. Okay, I'll show you how to use that. And then it's got these two pegs here, and which is for the large plate, and these two pegs here are spring loaded, so they've got that that springy motion to them, so when you push your plate down, it will pop back up with those springs. You've got these little tiny pegs here, and they are for the grid paper that can be purchased separately. So the grid paper comes in a pack of 50 sheets. Okay, comes like that. It has the centimeter grid as well as the inches grid. So depending on the measurements that you use, whether or not you use metric or imperial. And I'll take the magnets off and I'll show you how this, so the paper doesn't come, the grid paper doesn't come with the Stampin' Positioner. You have to purchase that separately. So to place that on, it's got these little holes along the top, and you just pop it on. And I found the best way was to just place it on, push down in the middle, and then push out to the sides, and then you'll get it sitting nice and flat, and it stays on those pegs and it doesn't move, which is really great. Now the board has got measurements as well, but you probably can't see those on camera, but it has got the measurements etched across here. So we've got 0 in the middle, and then 1 to 11 and a bit on this side, and then from here it goes back the other way, 1 to 11 and a bit, and then the same down the side. Oh, actually down the side you've got all the measurements all the way down, so you've got all the centimeters from 0 right down to 17.4, I think it is, down this side, and then you've got the inches down here too. I'm just wondering, under the paper, are there inches? Oh yeah, under the paper there are inch marks on here as well. But if you're using the grid paper, you don't really need to use those. The grid paper will keep your base plate nice and clean, so that you don't get any ink on it, because it is white. You want it to stay nice. So I recommend the grid paper. It's got a foam base, so it's non-slip, which is really good. And obviously it's got magnets. It's got magnets in, it's magnetic. So, but it's actually not that heavy. I kind of thought this would be really, really weighty, being that it was magnetic, but it's actually not very weighty at all. It's quite light. With your large plate, you've got these two holes at the top which line up with the pegs. I'm currently holding this upside down to show you. So they line up with the pegs here. And then the bottom little feet, they are spring loaded as well. So that when you place the plate down with your stamp on the underside, as you see, I've added a stamp here already to show you one of the techniques. I've already got it lined up. So you place that down, and then as you push down, all 4 of those spring loaded pegs press down. Okay, so so that's how that one works. And then the little plate, similar sort of thing, but this time with the little plate you've got the holes at the top that go on these pegs. These pegs are not spring loaded, they are all fixed pegs, but you've got 4 spring loaded feet here. So when you push down on those, they all go down together. Okay? So when you've got it just sitting there, the stamp is not touching on the plate. It's sitting up off the, or on the paper, it's sitting up off there until you are ready to press that down, and then that will press it down onto the paper. Okay. The other thing too with this plate is this base plate, I'll just take this off. Just here, there is a diagonal line etched into the base plate, and this is for doing different techniques and for lining up your plate, your cardstock, I should say, in different ways. So I'll show you a couple of ways of using that. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few different samples, and the first one I'm going to show you is how to create a border like this one using the Stampin Positioner tool. Now, if you were doing this with normal blocks, it would be really hard to line that up, get that nice and straight and evenly spaced, but it is so easy with the Stampin Positioner. Now, let me tell you too, the Stampin Positioner is great for two-step stamping, tile stamping, creating wreaths, borders, ordinary stamping with ordinary stamps. It also works with photopolymer stamps. It also works with your cling mount stamps with the red rubber. It works with those as well. What else? It's great for lots of things. Great for people who have dexterity issues in their hands, so you don't have to try and hold onto a block and manipulate a block. You just pop your stamps onto the plate and then you're just pressing down the whole plate, so you're not trying to hold onto that block. You don't have any worries about blocks rocking and creating that shadow effect to muck up your stamping. So yeah, so anyway, I'm going to show you this fun technique first. I'll show you a couple of fun techniques first, and then we might do some just ordinary stamping. So I've got a piece of basic white cardstock here. It's cut at 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters into a square. What we're going to do is we're going to use that angled piece there on the base plate, and we are going to, I'll just move my magnets out of the way for the moment. We're going to slot this cardstock in here between these two little pegs that are holding the paper. Now these two little pegs here, these ones are all round. These two here are slightly angled. They have the sort of the edge cut off them so that they follow that triangle line there, so that when you line up your cardstock, when you pop your cardstock in there, it sits flush against the straight parts of those pegs and it follows that diagonal line. Okay, so you can just tweak that to make sure that it's lining up nicely there. There we go. And then I will pop my magnets just there, just to hold that in place. Now, before I put any ink on my stamp, I'm just going to line this up. Now, I have already placed my stamps in place on the plate, but basically what you do is you would put your stamp, line your stamp up where you want it there in the corner. Now, I'm using two stamps. I'll show you which ones they are. I'm using this border stamp here from the Our Story stamp set. I'm using this one here, and I'm using the word love. Okay, so I'm using the two side by side. So I've got my border stamp lined up. So what I did is I lined them up on my cardstock first. So I lined up the border, I lined up the word next to it, love. Now when you're doing this sort of border type stamping, it does take a little bit of time just to work out the size cardstock that you need for the size of the stamps that you're using. So I'll show you a couple of different techniques using different size squares, but it really does depend on what you're using. All right, so I did pink on the other one, on the first one. So why don't we use this time some Misty Moonlight. We'll use some Misty Moonlight. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the plate off. We're going to flip it over. I'm just going to move that aside and put this down flat. And we're going to ink that up. Now, if you happen to get ink on your plate, don't worry, because it will not transfer onto your cardstock. Okay, bring this back in so we're all inked up. We've got our cardstock all lined up, and now we are just simply going to press down. Now the great thing about that is, well, I did get it perfect the first time, but if I didn't, because I have had that perfectly lined up, if I didn't get it all stamped properly, if I didn't apply, you know, even pressure, you can go back in and you can press it again. And because we've got the magnets on there, we've got it lined up, it should just stamp that, or stamp any of the missing pieces. Yeah, exactly where it needs to be, because everything is lined up. All right, so we'll remove our magnets. we're going to turn the paper to the next corner. Line that back up again with our triangle, with our little pegs. We'll pop some magnets in there again. We're going to ink back up our stamp. Come back in again, turn our plate over. Press that down. See how easy that is? So easy. Oh, oops, we've got to turn our cardstock again first. So we'll take those off. Turn the cardstock around again. Line it up with our triangle. Pop our magnets down. Ink up. Turn our plate over, pop it back on the pegs. Okay, so just put a bit of pressure there. There we go. You don't have to push really very hard. Take that off. Turn it again. Line it up with our little triangle. Magnets back on. Ink up. And stamp down. There we go. Now I didn't get the little filigree in the corner quite dark enough. So what I'm going to do, rather than re-ink, I'm just going to use the ink that's left on the stamp and just go back in and press that a little bit firmer because everything was still in place. There we go. So that is beautiful. And now we've got a beautiful border. Isn't that gorgeous? So there's the two different colors, a pink one and a blue one. So then you can add, you might want to add a little something inside. You could add another small square there with something else stamped on it, or you could add a circle with something stamped on it in the center, and then add that to your card and decorate that however you like. So that's a really cool technique. All right, so that's technique number 1. So we'll give this a little clean with our chamois. And we'll take those off there now. Ready for the next one. All right, so just remove those. Pop them over there. Okay. Now, I'll show you, just give that a little dry with my hand. Close this ink pad. I've got some other samples here as well. While I'm still showing you the border technique, what we're going to use now is, hang on, let me get my little samples over here. Yeah, that one. That's the one we want. All right, this time I'm using, I think this one was 8 by 8 centimeters. And we're kind of doing this similar sort of thing, but this time instead of creating a border, we're creating a kind of wreath. And what I'm going to use this time is the one of the little florals. Now, Amber told me the best way to do this first was to work out where the center of your paper is first, so that we can line up the stamp where we want to have it to make sure that that gets lined up. Oops, that wants to stick to my magnet. So that it lines up exactly where we want it. So I'm just looking for a pencil. So, okay, so this is 8 by 8, so we want 4 by 4, so it's going to be down here. Hang on, let me do that one again. 4. It's just there. Okay, so there's the center. It's got a little center point there. Just rub out that other line. Okay, and I'm just going to line these up between these two pegs here. So it's kind of in the center there, like, well, actually, sorry, we're going to do this way first. We're going to do the diagonal first, and then we're going to do this, the ones coming in from the other angle. So we'll start here. I'm going to have the florals coming out from the center this time. So I'm going to line them up about there, like that. Hang on, let me get my head over the top of that for a minute. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so I'm going to lay the stamp there. I'll bring my plate over. Oh, Amber had an idea there. You could make your own scrapbooking frames. Oh, that would be awesome for scrapbooking. Yes, you could. Little journaling squares, or just some little decorative elements for your scrapbooking as well. That's awesome. Now also too, I will let you know, there's no lip on the edge of this plate around these three sides, so you can stamp on 12 by 12 cardstock as well. I forgot to mention that. So I'm mainly doing smaller designs for cards, but yes, you can definitely put your 12 by 12 paper in here and stamp on that too, which is awesome. All right, so got my stamp lined up on my card, my piece of cardstock. I'm taking the plate over to the pegs, press down to pick up my stamp. Now sometimes the photopolymer stamps are a little bit sticky, especially if you haven't used them very much, and they might try to pull the cardstock up. So if that happens, just realign your cardstock back to where you had it, so you know you're using that little triangle there, the little triangle lines there, and these little pegs. Okay, so this time we might use, let's do some green. Let's do some Granny Apple green leaves. Okay, we'll ink that up with Granny Apple. Now I've got a little bit of ink here on my plate, but I'm not worried about that because that plate is not going to touch my cardstock, only the stamp is. There we go, so that's the first one. And we'll take that off. I'm going to turn the cardstock around, use that little angle again there, that little triangle in there, and line that cardstock up. Magnets down. Ink up. See, I didn't get any excess ink anywhere there, even with that ink on my plate, because the plate never touches, which is awesome. Okay, there we go. Ink up. Actually, if I move that over a little bit, you'll be able to see, and up a little bit too, you'll be able to see both. Oh look, I got more ink on my plate. That's okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Now you know that normally when we're using our blocks, if you get ink on your block as you're inking up your stamp, you usually need to clean it, because often it will get onto your project if you have excess ink on your block. Oops, I forgot to turn my piece, didn't I? Nearly stamped that second time. But yes, with this one you don't. So it's good, so you can just clean your plates up at the end when you're finished. There we go. Okay, so we've got, oh, hang on, I'll just add a little bit more pressure to the top of that flower to get that to, that's better. All right. So we've just got, hang on 2 secs, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I just need to do that now via my watch. Okay, awesome, good. Okay, so you'll notice that we've got 4, so you've just sort of got that crisscross, which is fine. You can, if I had a circle, which I happen to just have one spare, and I've got ink on my fingers. Now look, I've transferred that ink with my finger this time, not from the plate, but from my finger. Oh, goodness. So that little splodge there, I don't know if you can see that on camera, that actually came off my finger, not off the plate. That was my fault. That's all right. Okay, so you could put a circle over the top or something like that in the center, and you can see those beautiful flowers coming out from the sides there, from the corners. But I wanted to make it a bit fuller, a little bit more like a wreath. So I'm going to add some more in here. So to do that, what we're going to do is because we've used that triangle there in the middle, we're going to line this up with these two pegs here to sort of center that. Now you can use your grid paper if you want to line that up. So that's the center line there. So you just need to look at your grid, but I'm actually just going to use the peg and just use my eyes. And we're going to fill in these little spaces here with some more stamping. So now we're going straight across the top with the paper. The paper's lined up straight across the top. And we're going to stamp down. Oh, I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? I haven't got that quite in the middle. What did I do wrong, Amber? I did something wrong. I thought that's how she said to do it, but maybe I did it wrong. Hang on, let me have a look at her sample here. What did I do? Oh, maybe I should have lined up that one first. The center one, the straight ones first, because now I've got those ones too tall. They're going off the edge. But if you put your center down, you'd still see them. Okay, so I should have lined up my straight edge ones first, because she said something about Pythagoras' theorem, and I couldn't remember what Pythagoras' theorem was. Something about the angle of what was it, Amber? The length of a triangle, or the diagonal edge, is longer than the straight edge or something. I don't know. I'm not good with maths, but I did botch that one up. Let's give that one another go, see if I get it right this time. We'll start then with the straight. She didn't tell me which way to measure that first. I should have asked. Oh wait, I need the center point. Hang on a minute. I should have got Amber to demonstrate this. She's been having a play. She's more of a pro than me. I will get better. All right, 4 and 4. So that's the center point there. Let's start again. All right, we'll start with this one first. That will make better sense, actually. Yes, that makes better sense in my head now too. I'm going to have to clean this stamp and the plate because I need to reposition it. Get that green off the plate that I stuck my finger in. Oh, she actually doesn't remember which way she did it. Well, there you go. I think I just worked out which way you did it, Amber, and it wasn't the way I did it the first time. It's okay. It's all right. That's the thing about playing with these new tools. You learn by practice. I'm just going to get a tissue just to dry that plate off because I want to reposition that stamp. There we go. Now, I'm not going to dry the stamp with a tissue though. I might just stamp that off. I'll dry that by stamping that onto the grid paper. There we go. All right. Yes, it makes more sense now that you need to work out this angle first because, yes, they are going to be longer in to the corner or shorter into the corner. So if I line up the stamp this way first, and it doesn't matter too much if the stamps don't meet in the middle if you're going to put something over the top. Like this is Amber's sample, okay? So it doesn't matter too much, but because we're going to cover that bit up. All right, so we've got that down. I'm going to pick that up. There we go, we'll line that back up. It just grabbed the paper a little bit. There we go. And if you want to, so that you come back to the same angle. You can actually just put a little mark on your grid paper where you've lined up your cardstock, and then that way you'll always come back to the same spot. So now let's see if I go back to the diagonal. Let's see how that will line up now. Yeah, so that's going to be a little bit lower on the diagonal. Just going to have a look and see how she had this one. And then the square, just having a look to see how she had it lined up, just to see which way she did it. Line that up there like that. Something like that. Something like that. Let's give that a go and see. Yeah, all right. So let's go back into the diamond. And it will depend on the stamp that you're using too, I think, as well. All right, we'll give this one a go. Oh, now she said she's pretty sure she did the diagonal the diagonal first. Not sure why mine went off the page. Maybe I had set it a bit too high on the diagonal. I'm just having a look. I'm comparing the pair. Unless you repositioned it. I wonder if you repositioned the stamp for the maybe you did. Maybe you repositioned the stamp when you went to stamp the other one. At the straight edge. Did you reposition it? Because that's another way you could do it if you repositioned it for the straight edge. Let's give this a go, see if this works, and if not, then we'll try the repositioning idea. We'll see how this goes, because these ones are going to overlap quite a bit, I think, doing it this way. We'll see. We'll see how we go. There's lots of different ways you can use this Stampin' Positioner. The center mark sits up higher when you put it on a diagonal. Oh, I didn't measure across the diagonal when I was doing the center line. That would make sense. Maybe it's because where I lined the center line up. Because if I go across the diagonal, well, that's 11 point. Wait, that's 11.4. Because it does look like on your one that you did do the center line across the diagonal. So maybe that's the trick, is to line it up across the diagonal. So you've got it at 5.1. Just having a look here. 5.6, sorry, 5.6. Should I maybe do that? Line it up. Oh, maybe that was the mistake. You know what? Every piece of cardstock has two sides, so let's do it this way. That would make better sense, because if you're starting with the diagonal, measure across the diagonal to get your center line. 5.6 across that way, and 5.6. The center is still the center on the cardstock no matter how you measure it. Oh, okay. So I don't know what I did wrong then. I did something wrong. Well, I would have thought so too. let's see. Where's my other piece? Yeah, it does. So what was the other thing you said? The center mark sits up higher when you put it on the diagonal. So then I should than when you go that way. Should be the same though, shouldn't it? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm probably confusing everybody else as well. All right, maybe this is a technique that I need to practice a bit more before I do it. Let's try this. Let's try this, see if this works. And if this doesn't work this time, then I'll have to get Amber to give me another demonstration, or a proper demonstration, and then I will come back and show you another time how to do it. But we'll give this a go and see if this works. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom through now. And see how we go. Has anybody else done this? Has anybody else got a Stampin' Positioner, and have you done this particular technique? If you have, yell out any tips for me if you have them, because I would love to know if there's a better way that I can do this. Oh, I forgot to turn it. Did that before too, didn't I? Nearly forgot. There we go. Hi, Dimity, how are you? Lovely to have you with us today. All right, there we go. Now let's go into the diagonal. And see, before I ink that up, now see, that's going to sit down really low. I'm sure you must have moved the stamp, Amber, because that sits really low now. They're all going to crisscross. Are they supposed to crisscross that much? This is your sample. The corner ones do kind of sit a little bit lower. Oh yeah, yours do crisscross a little bit. Maybe that was okay. Oh, look, I stuck my thumb in the ink again. Okay, so one reason for cleaning your plate, although it's not going to stamp onto your cardstock, is so that you don't stick your finger in it like I just did. That's a good reason to clean your plates off. Oh dear, it's all good. As you can tell, I haven't had a chance to practice with this, having just got back from Queensland last night. I didn't get a chance. You didn't move it. Okay. All right, let's see if this works. All right. Got a little bit of overlap happening. Did you have overlap on yours? Oh, you did actually have a little bit of overlap. You could reposition the stamp if you wanted to for the diagonal. It really is going to depend on what stamp you're using for this technique. I think it's going to depend on the detail, the shape of your stamp. Yeah. It's something that you can have a little play with and see which way works best for the stamp that you are using. But yeah, this is creating more of that sort of wreath circular design. Not a wreath in terms of, you know, the outline, because I was trying to find a stamp that I could do that with, but I didn't really have an appropriate one that I thought would work for that. But there we go. We've got our sort of circular pattern now. So that's good. All right. That did work better. We do have a little bit of overlap, but I don't mind that. So there you go. And then if you had a circle on the ends, if you popped a circle on the center or another square on the center, and then you've got all of the the flowers around. So see, that did actually work. That's how that was the intended look that we were going for. So there you go. Just took us a couple of goes to get there, to get it right. So yeah, so measure when you're lining up your stamp. Do it with your cardstock straight first. If you're doing something floral like that. Does that make sense? Yeah. She also did it, I'll just clean this plate off, get all that ink off. She did it with a larger stamp as well, a larger leafy stamp, and it turned out really well. She just did this on some scrap cardstock, but this one turned out really well as well because you haven't got as much detail, so it didn't all like cross over, and she got it going right into the corners, which was really good. And that was just the four corners, but you sort of get that same effect. And then if you put your circle or your other shape on the top, then you get the leaves sort of coming out from the sides. So that's really cool. And this one, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Amber, I think you did this one on the diagonal, didn't you? It looks like, yeah, that one's stamped on the diagonal. So yeah, so there you go. So that's another technique that you can do. I'll pop that one up there. So again, that one was just an 8 by 8 centimeter measurement, and she used, just finding the stamp set, she used the Beautifully Celebrated stamp set. That was the one that I just used, and Amber did the other leafy one with that one. Okay, but we'll move on to a couple of other techniques. So yeah, that one was just the 4 sides on the angle like that. Yeah, there you go. A flower in the middle would work well too. Yeah, that would work well too, Dimity. Yeah, that would look nice. All right, so that's a couple of different techniques with the large plate. Of course, you can just use it for ordinary stamping as well, which we will come back to. I'm going to show you some of the other ways that you can use this. We're going to need to cut some cardstock. I might just grab a baby wipe and wipe my fingers. And we'll clean our hands, get that ink off. All right, so there's a couple of other things that you can do. Well, there's lots of other things that you can do, but there's a couple of other things that I'm going to show you how to do. We have got some, if I just grab a piece of cardstock, I might just need to cut this one down. And I'll cut this to a card front size. Oh, actually, I'll cut this to a layer size. We'll go this way first. 14.45. We'll cut this to our first layer of our card. And we'll do a tiled sentiment. Okay, so now for this technique, you can either use your plate this way, or you can turn it sideways, whichever works best for you. I'm going to try it on the side this time, and I'm going to leave, I've got 2 stamps on there at the moment. I'm not going to use this one just yet, but I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to work out roughly where the center is. Actually, if this is 10.1, let me see, 14.45. It'll be 7.2-ish, 7.2-ish, which will be about there. Okay. it's going to be about there, and I'm going to move my plate up 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 2 3 4. Let's go in the center there. Oh yeah, because we've got our triangle mark, that's in the middle, so that's at 10.5. So I'm just lining up my paper there. Okay, I'm going to take my plate, put it on the pegs, and I am going to need to move that. I need to move that one off. All right, so I'm going to pick this up. So I'm going to need to center, yeah, so that's in the center. I think I put that in the center. I put that in the center of my cardstock. I think I did. I don't even know now. Anyway, I'll give you a quick little, oops, hang on, my stamp stuck to my cardstock. So here we go. All right, just putting a little mark there where my cardstock is sitting, and I've got the magnets on there. So we're going to do some tile stamping this time, and I'm going to start in the middle this time because I haven't fully planned this and done all the measurements to have it exactly exactly spaced out. So I'm actually going to start from the middle and work my way back both ways. And for this one, let's use some pumpkin pie. All right, so as I said, you can turn the plate that way, or you can turn it, you can just use it this way. Either way is fine. If you're left-handed, you might want to have the pegs on the other side and use it the other way. So you can use it whichever way you like. All right, I'm going to ink up my stamp. And then pop it back down on those two center pegs and do my first stamping. Do you know what? I don't even know if I got my stamp straight on the block. I didn't. I didn't check that. I didn't check that I had that straight. Hang on, let me clean that. Silly me. And I'm going to dry my, this is my first play with this tool, so as many videos as I've seen and as many samples as Amber has made to show me, this is my actual first play with it, so you'll have to bear with me while I learn with you. Is that straight now? I think that's straight. Okay, let's try again. We'll go this way. So with this little block, you can, or this little plate, I should say, you can actually ink it the traditional way like that onto your ink pad if you wish to. All right, so we pop that down and then we stamp onto our cardstock. Then we're going to leave the cardstock where it is. We're going to ink up the stamp again. And then we're going to move, so we were in those two pegs in the center. Then we're going to move up. Now you can move up one peg or you can move up two pegs. I'm just moving up one peg. Stamp it again. Now this time I'll have to move my magnet. And let's see, so we were here. Let's see if we move up another one peg. Yep. And stamp there, and then we're going to do the same back the other way, going down. So we started there in the middle, and then we're going to move down one peg. Now this is only a small sentiment, so it's quite spaced out, but I'm going to show you how we can fill in. Oh, I just noticed I didn't stamp this one properly, so we might have to go back up to that one in a minute. There we go. Let's go back up to this one. And actually I probably don't want all of the words. I'm just going to stamp that off onto the grid paper. So I probably just want the word best inked up again. So all the other words were okay, it was just the word best. So I'll line that back up. Oh, my plate moved. My plate. So with this little plate, you do have a little bit of play in your plate. So it's important to make sure that when you place it down, check your grid lines, that your grid lines are lined up. And I didn't check, I just plonked it down and it wasn't lined up with the grid paper. So that one did mess up a little bit. But anyway, don't worry about that one. I'm going to show you how to then add your sentiment to fill in. So you can see you've got that tile step stamping going down, but I'm going to show you how to add the extra ones in here. Okay, so we're going to leave our stamp on our plates. Let's put it back in the middle one. Make sure we've got that lined up with our grid paper. Hang on, let me just get my head over the top. So make sure I've got that lined up. Let's go this way. Got that lined up. I think that looks straight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move the paper to get that in the middle between the two. Line that paper up. And then try that there. The magnets, because they're so flat, unless the magnets are going to hit the actual stamp, they can be underneath the block, but they might have been in the way. Yeah, they might have been in the way perhaps when I put it down and I didn't check. So just check that you've got it nice and straight. Stamp down, and then let's take it up another notch. So when you're doing the first one, it's not too much, but see how this particular plate has got a little bit of wiggle room. You don't really have that with the big plate. And then we'll go up another one. So when I push down like that, the magnet isn't in the way. The only time it will be in the way is if the actual, if it's in the way of the stamp that's on the block. But because the magnets are only thin, if they're underneath the block when you stamp, they don't actually touch the block. Does that make sense? And I don't think we can get, oh, we can get another one down the bottom. Can get another one down the bottom. Can we get another one at the top? Oh yeah, we can fit another one at the top as well. Now I will just move that. So ink, 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 and stamp at the top. So that's called tile stamping. We used to call it step stamping before, but now they call it tile stamping. So then you can do your sentiments and like you can either have that as a focus on the front of your card, not with that botched up one that I did though, or you can have it as a background on your card. But yeah, depending on the size of your sentiment as to how many pegs you'll be able to move it and how many sentiments you'll obviously fit in your background. Obviously, if it's a larger sentiment, you're not going to fit as many if it's a higher font. But yeah, so that's another technique that you can do with the little plate. So we'll give this one a clean. I've got another one to show you with that one. Your chamois is really great for cleaning this because you can pick it up and you can just yeah, clean it with your chamois, which is great. And then I just like to dry my plate so that when I'm going to put my next stamp down, I just don't ever use a tissue to dry my actual stamps because that'll put lint on the stamp. To dry my stamps, I just stamp them down. Let's just put it on here. And I just stamp that down onto the paper to dry the stamp. And then just let it finish air drying. All right. So that one came from this stamp set 2. Where'd the other stamps go from this one? That's a very good question. Oh, there they are. So I'll pop this one away. The other thing too with both plates, either the large one or the small one, if you're doing multiple projects, if you're say for a swap or something like that, and you've got to make multiple projects of the same design, to use those plates and have your stamps already all lined up on them, then basically you just stamp, re-ink, change your cardstock to the next piece for the next card, stamp, ink. So you can do those repetitive, like mass produce your projects. So make multiples, which is awesome. All right, the next one we're going to do is a background, here it is here, a background stamp, and to create a repetitive pattern. So rather than just have one little stamp like that, to make that go further and to have the pattern repeated to make more texture in the background, you can do that with this sort of stamp. All right, so I've just got a smaller piece here, and I'm just going to line that up there on my cardstock. And let's see if I get this. I might move my cardstock up a bit actually. Move the cardstock up a bit to there. Pick up my stamp. Yep. All right, we'll do this one in some Misty. Actually, let's use the Pretty in Pink again. Move that over. Okay, so I'm going to ink up. So I've got my paper there ready to go. Let's put a couple of magnets on there to hold it nice and steady. I'm going to start with these two pegs over here. Stamp that down. Again, I could, now because I've got my stamp quite close to the top this time, if you are taking your stamp directly to your ink pad, be very careful not to get ink on those little feet. They're the little spring feet. Okay, so you can use one edge of your ink pad, doesn't have as much plastic around it, so you can always go to that side of your ink pad so that the little pegs can hang off the edge. Okay, or just take your ink pad to your stamp. All right, so we were there. We're going to move up one peg and stamp our pattern again. Move across another peg. Stamp down again. Now I might need to move this one this time. Move across another peg. Stamp down. There we go. So there we've got a repetitive pattern. So rather than just having one single small patterned image, you've got it repeated. And I love how it joins up. This one joins up perfectly actually, and creates that little diamond there in the middle. So that one's really easy to do, and you can keep continuing. If you had a longer strip, you can keep continuing that along the strip. Looking for my chamois, that's what I'm looking for. All right, and then we can do some two-step stamping with this as well, which makes it a lot easier for two-step stamping. And we're going to use the large plate for that. Okay, so let's, we'll just take this stamp off that we were using before. And pop that back on the sheet. Now I've got a different stamp set here. I've got the Pretty in Florals, and I thought that I'd show you how to do some two-step stamping using the large plate. So what I'll do is we'll cut a little bit of cardstock. So I'm just going to cut this in half and half again. And then I might actually cut this down to an actual card front size, 10.1 by 14 point, well this is my layer. Sorry, it wasn't card front size, this is a layer size, my first layer. 10.1 by 14.45, that gives me a little 2mm border. Actually, I might cut it down a bit smaller to make a 3mm border. Let's go 9.9. Just take it down a little bit more by 14.25. 1, 2, and a bit. That'll give me a 3mm border rather than a 2mm border. Then I can put some another color or something behind it. Oh, actually, should I go down another layer? Maybe I should make this the next layer down. Yeah, I might take it down actually a little bit more. I'm shaving off more of my cardstock. I'm going to take it down to 9.5 by 13.85, and that will give me more room to add an extra layer of maybe DSP or another color behind this. I mean, this is only a sample piece, but you know, why not create an actual piece that I can use? All right, so we've got this two-step stamping stamp set here, and let's see, which flowers do we want to create? I might do let's do some of, having a look in here to see the ones that I've already got stamped, what we want to do. Yeah, I might do this one. Might do this one, and then we can haven't used this stamp set for a while, so I'm just having a look to see the different flowers that are in there. I do have dies for these ones as well. Yeah, what if we do one like that? We might do one like that. All right. Let's pop all of those over there. All right, so we want those ones, and we want these ones, and we want the centers of those ones, which is these ones. Yeah, that's the ones we want. All right. Okay, so if I might do that up a little bit higher so that we've got room for a sentiment at the bottom, but we need to make sure we've got room for the flowers to go at the top as well. Yep. So I might put them up about there. All right. So we're going to take our plate. So we've got 3 different stamps for this one. So first of all, I'm going to line up my cardstock, and I'm going to use the 5 centimeter edge, lining it up along the top of those little pegs there, so that helps to hold the cardstock in place. So I'm using the 5 centimeter edge. Line up your stamp where you want to have it, and then take your plate to the stamp. Actually, why don't we bring that down a little bit? Just bring that down a little bit. Yeah, and then we'll pick up the stamp with our plate. Now if the cardstock lifts when you do that, that's okay, because I know where I had it. I had it lined up with the pegs at the top and on the 5 centimeter line down on the grid paper. Okay. All right, so oh whoops, not that one, this one. We are going to ink the the petals, the leaves and the stems in Granny Apple Green. Okay, so inked those up. Take that to my plate, just make sure you can see that there. Okay, stamp that down. Okay, beautiful. All right, so got that one on there. Now I'll clean this up. Take that one off. I'll just dab it on the paper there to get the ink off it. I mean the water off it. Dry my plate, and then we're going to stamp this one next. So I'm going to line that up on my plate with the design there so that I can see where the leaves are, and I can line that up over the top. Again, I'm going to take my plate, making sure that I've got everything lined up, got my paper lined up where I had it before. Now it's going to lift it again because I should have put the magnets up a bit higher actually. I'll do that. But that's okay because I know where I had it lined up. Up to the top of the pegs on the 5 centimeter line. I'll move these, one up there and one down there. There we go. We are going to use, I'm going to get some other ink pads out actually. I need Petunia Pop and Bubble Bath. So let me see if I can reach those now from where I'm sitting. Yeah, they're right behind my, they're actually behind my stand. That's okay. Oops, sorry, dropping things. All right, okay. So we're going to do Bubble Bath first. So we'll ink those flowers up with some Bubble Bath ink. And you can do a double check if your paper has moved. Just do a double check to make sure that's still, you've got your, when you've repositioned your paper, to make sure you've got your paper back in position before you press down your stamps, because you'll be able to see through, sorry I just put my head right in the camera then, you'll be able to see if you've got that back aligned. And then we'll stamp that one down. Now you can't see it very well at the moment. I'm going to stamp that again because I feel like that was a little bit pale. Make sure I've got that all lined up. Have a little looky. Stamp that again. Yep, look, stamped beautifully again over the top. Okay, give my flowers a little clean. Clean my plate off and a dry. Now sometimes we've got some of those stamp sets, actually I should have probably shown you with one of those. We've got some of those stamp sets that can be really hard to, when you're doing two-step stamping, they can sometimes be really hard to align the detail to the stamp. This one's not so hard to do, but some of the other ones can be a little bit tricky, and this is a really great tool to use with those because you can get everything aligned first before, and then attach it to your plate, and then you'll have everything lined up beautifully when you go to stamp it, rather than yeah, trying to do it with your blocks, because that can be a little bit tricky sometimes. All right, so we get that all lined up there, and I'll take my plate, pick up my stamp. Stayed put this time, which was good. This particular stamp has been used a fair bit of time, a fair few times, because I used this for a class. So it's probably not as sticky as some of the other ones because it's probably had a lot of ink on it. Okay, and then we're going to stamp the detail of the stamp, and voila! Look at that, perfect placement. Now if we want to go back in, let's go back in and do a sentiment on there as well while we've got everything in place. We may as well stamp a sentiment as well. I mean, I can stamp a sentiment directly on here, or you could stamp it on a label and then add it. Totally up to you, of course. But while we've got everything there and it's all aligned, let's find a sentiment. Actually, what was that one we had before? We might be able to use that. Let me see. Simply the Best. I could add that one. Actually, I might make a birthday card. I might see if I've got a nice birthday. Yeah, that would be nice there, but that's quite small. Let me grab a birthday sentiment, and I'll pop a larger birthday sentiment there if we've got one. Let's see. That might be too big. We could use that one. Actually, I could be there forever looking for another sentiment, so let's just go with this one. Yeah, we'll use that one. Happy birthday. And let's just stamp that straight down here. I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the bottom too. Put that there. Yeah, no, I'll put that up here. I'm going to leave a little bit of room for some ribbon or something at the bottom there. And then we can I'm just using my eye, and I am looking at the grid here as well to try and get that fairly straight. Let's see if I put this grid over the top, if that's lined up. Oh, that's actually lined up pretty well. Pretty straight. Whoop, that's stuck to the cardstock. Stay there. There we go. Now, what color shall I do the sentiment? Oh, maybe in that darker color? Do you think? Will that look nice in that darker color, in the petunia pop? Match with the flowers. Let's do it that way. There we go. I got some ink on the plate again, so I'll be careful not to put my fingers in it, but I want to show you that it won't transfer onto the cardstock or to the grid paper. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. And then if you wanted to do a little frame at the top, if you've got some little corner stamps, we had some of those. We've got this little one actually. That might look nice in the corners. Let's do some of that as well. We'll do that in the same color. I'll just get this other stamp off here. And we can make a whole little card front. That one goes with that one. I'm going to make sure I put all my stamps. I'm using so many different stamp sets today. I've got to make sure that I put them all back with the correct stamps, or we're going to be in a lot of trouble. I'll be in a lot of trouble because they're not going to go back in the right packets. All right, so we'll put that one up there like so. Oops. Like so. There we go. Got that lined up. Pick that up with our plate. Yep, good. I might do, what color shall I do the corners in? I think they should be in a different color to the sentiment. Should I maybe do them in the green? What do you think? Would that be good in the green? Okay, let's see how that's going to look. Beautiful. Yeah, that goes nicely. Okay, I'll give that a little clean and then we can line it up for the other corner. So move our magnets. Line it up now for this corner. I hope I cleaned that properly. So now I'm putting it on my cardstock. Line that up. Yep. Pick it up with your plate. Just realign my cardstock. It just lifted it a little bit. Stamp it down. There we go. And we could even do some here at the bottom as well. Has anyone else been crafting along with me today? I forgot to ask that before. I always ask that and I completely forgot today. Is anybody else crafting? If anybody has the glass mat, this would be a good use for the cleaning cloth that comes with the glass mat to clean your plates in between stamping, or to dry them off in between, in between each stamping, or like when your plate gets inky. There we go. We'll do 2 down the bottom as well. This is a really nice little stamp actually, this little corner one. I hadn't used this before. Oh, good morning, Ninka. How are you? Lovely to have you with us today. Oops, I might go back in and re-stamp that. So I feel like I didn't put enough pressure. There we go. Beautiful. And we'll do one last one in the last corner. Oh, you've been making Easter treat boxes, Leonie. Oh, really nice. Lovely. Are you using the Easter sweet again? That beautiful Easter sweet? You've been getting some good use out of that, haven't you? It's really, really a lovely sweet, that one. I've forgotten the name of it again. I know I forgot the name last week too, when we were talking about it. So many names of products to remember these days. Here we go. Now that did move then. I saw that move. It stuck to the stamp, so I'm just going to realign that to my little 5 centimeter mark. Let's just take those off for a minute. There we go. All right, so we'll ink this up. And Easter basket, that's the one. Thank you, Leonie, the Easter basket suite. There we go. All right, we'll give that a clean. I'll take that one off and put that over there and give my plate a really good wipe over. Make sure that's nice and clean, and then I'm going to need to get a clean part of tissue here to dry it off. What I might actually do is get a keep a cloth here in the craft room just specifically for cleaning this off, so that it's always always nice and clean. Got a little bit of excess ink there. There we go. So yeah, you do need to dry the plate. If you have cleaned it in between stamping, you do need to dry it before you put your next stamp on there. Otherwise the stamp will, could slip around. So there we go. So now we've created that little piece there, and we've done some 2-step stamping here with the flowers. We used a different happy birthday, and then we used a different stamp set for the little corner border. Oh, I didn't put that one quite in the right spot, but yeah. So there you go. So you can create beautiful things like that. And now all I need to do is add another color behind to give it a little matte or a little bit of DSP, and then pop that on my card, add some little embellishments, maybe a little bit of ribbon here on the card front, and then we're ready to go. So there you go. So let's have a look. So this is the so you can use it for your normal stamping with your normal stamps that you use. I'm just having a look to see Let me just see if I've got any cling stamps, and I'll show you how it works with cling stamps as well. Cling. Okay. This one is a cling stamp. This is actually one I haven't had too long. I don't think I've used it yet. But let's have a look and see how it works with the cling stamps as well. The only thing is with the cling stamps is you do have to be careful with your positioning because they are thicker than a photopolymer stamp. When you put them onto your project, they're going to sit very close to the project before you push the plate down. Whereas with the photopolymer ones, I'll show you with this one, because they're only very thin, when you put your plate in place, they're not actually touching the paper until you press down. These ones are a bit thicker, so these ones you've got to be a little bit more careful about your placement. So let's grab, I've got another piece of cardstock here. I'll just pop it here in the, I'll use that 5 centimeter mark again. And let's just stamp this somewhere. I'll just stamp it in the middle there, like that. Pop our plate over the top. Okay, now it's not, let me have a look underneath. Okay, it's not quite touching just yet, but it's pretty close. And I'll pick it up with the stamp, with the, with the plate. Let's put a little bit of memento on this one. Okay, so just, with the memento, I always like to do a little swipe over the surface first and then do the tap, tap, tap. Okay, and then pop that down there. Oops, that just moved that one out of the way. And then, yeah, so it's very close to the surface of the cardstock already because you've got the depth of the foam in the cling. And there you go. And it's not quite dark enough, so I'm going to go back in again and give another go. Press that really firmly in the parts that I didn't press it as hard. And there you go. So yeah, so it can work with your cling stamps as well if you were wondering about that. So we'll give that a little clean. There we go. Okay, so now let me think. I think they were the main techniques that I wanted to show you with that. You can create, as I showed you, the borders, and then we had the little wreaths. Where were the wreaths? Where have I put them now? Oh, they're up the back here. These ones, and then Amber had done that one as well. If you have an actual leaf shape that is like, or a part of a wreath, I don't have any at the moment in my stash, but if you had like wreath outline pieces, you could actually make an actual full wreath by using that diagonal corner piece. But yeah, you have to just play with the size of your cardstock and the size of your stamp. But yeah, I'll have a little bit more play with that another time. But there you go. So that's the Stampin' Positioner. So comes with all of those pieces, and you've got the extra small plate as well that comes with it as well. And I don't know where this stamp belongs. Hang on a minute. Let me work it out. That one. Okay. Just make sure I put it back with the right things. And these are the little pieces that we made. So these ones, normal stamping, two-step stamping, some wreath style stamping like that. And then we've got that one as well. So yeah, so lots of fun. Oh, also too, we did the tile stamping which I botched up that bit, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. We've got that one, and then we extended our texture stamp as well. Also too, if you've got a smaller piece for stamping sentiments, you can line it up on your sentiment piece, like I showed you lining it up any other way. You just put your cardstock down on the base plate, line up your sentiment, and then ink it up, stamp it down, and you've got it beautifully positioned. Okay, so there you go. So I hope that helped you in learning a little bit about the, oh, you know what I didn't show you? I didn't show you how to do reverse stamping. I'll quickly show you how to do that, because using the Stampin' Positioner, you can actually do a technique where you can reverse your stamps in the opposite orientation. So see how these are facing different directions? I'll quickly show you how to do that. And then we will finish up. Actually, where's that stamp set? Oh, I could do it on, I could do it with that maybe. All right, I've got one here. I don't know if you'll tell as much with that one because it doesn't, it does curve a little bit that way. We'll see if we can do it with this one. I did test it with this leaf, but I'm going to see if I can show it to you with this one this time. Yeah, see if we can do it. See if it'll work with this one. Okay, so let's pop this back in place. We'll use our 5 centimeter grid line again. Okay, so I want it going that way, but then on this side I want it going the other way. So I'm not sure how I'll get it. Now I've got to really think, and I've got to really use my brain. To do this, you're going to need a silicone craft sheet. And if I think I can do it if I line it up on this corner. Is that going to work? Oh, I remember, because I've got to do the cardstock over the top. Oh, I could turn that over. Turn it over, and then will that work that way? No, it might not work that way. Anyway, we'll give it a go and see. It might work a little bit differently, yeah, than how I did it the first time, but we'll see how we go. All right, so first of all, I'm going to stamp. I'll pick up my stamp first. Okay, now we've got an extra layer because we've got the silicone craft sheet. Do you know what? I actually didn't have that lined up properly. Hang on a sec. Let me do that there, that there. I should just do this exactly how I did it for my test piece, because I'm going to botch it up. But let's see how we go. Let's see how we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to ink this up with Memento. Oh, you haven't seen anyone else use the rubber stamps with the Stampin' Positioner Dimity. Well, there you go. Well, I'm glad I showed that. Okay, so stamp it once. I'm going to stamp it again a second time because I haven't got a full image there. Okay, stamp it a second time. Let's see. Yeah, still missing a little bit in the center, so I'm going to stamp it a third time and really focus on pressing in the center. Now, as I said, I haven't tried this technique using the Stampin' Positioner with a cling stamp. I was doing it with photopolymer earlier today, so it might be a little bit different. yeah, we'll see how we go with that. Now I want to position that on my cardstock, and you sort of can see through your silicone craft sheet. Now, because I flipped that over, I did that a little bit differently this time, and I'm going to press that down on there. But if I stamp it, I think it's going to stamp in the opposite orientation. Yes, it will. So I'm just going to use my fingers to press that down. This is different to how I did it earlier. I will show you the other way as well, because I'm not sure if this is going to work out. Let's see, did it work? It did work somewhat, but it is a little bit blurry. So then I'll stamp the other one on the other side. Oh, I'm going to have to move that, aren't I? Now that I just did that. Yes, I'm going to have to move that. Hang on, I did that wrong. Did that wrong. See, I should have done it the way I tested it this morning. And then I was just going to stamp it the normal way over this side, around the right way. But I'm going to show you the other technique that I did this morning with a, oh, we can probably do it with the same one. There. So yeah, this one was a little bit smudgy because of the way that I did it, but you can sort of see how they're mirroring each other. I'll show you how I did it this morning. It will probably still work with this particular stamp, but I'll just need to use a different piece of cardstock. So let me just cut this one. Just for a sample. Okay, so we'll put the silicone mat down first this time, and let's line that up with my 5 centimeter grid line again, just so I know that I've got that there. I will stamp this up in the middle this time. Okay, so you pick up your stamp. Actually, you know what? I might try, I'll do it with the one that I did it with this morning, just because, there we go, the foam in this might change how this technique works. And I was just thinking, I don't want to, yeah, I'll use what I did this morning. Okay, oops, put this up the right way. So you know you've got the plate up the right way if the Stampin' Up logo on the bottom is up the right way. Okay, so we're going to pick up our stamp. I'm going to ink it up. Now you can do this with any of the inks. I used, this morning I wasn't using Memento, I was using just the classic Stampin' pad, and I had used what do you call it? What color was I using? Basic beige, I think I was using. All right, so we're going to stamp that down. I've put my magnets in place to hold my silicone craft sheet. I'm going to stamp that again. So ink it back up. Place my plate back over again. Stamp it back down. It should, as long as that silicone craft sheet didn't move, it should stamp in exactly the same place. Great. Then I'm going to move my magnets. I'm going to take my cardstock, place that down over the top, put my magnets in place. I've placed it a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I'm not re-inking my stamp, but I am just going to stamp it straight down over the back of that cardstock. Okay, because it's not this image that I want. I did stamp nicely anyway, but it's the reverse image that I want. And then I should have done it on the other side, but that's okay. I'll remove that. And then I better clean this one off. Then I can position my stamp here next to this one. Let's just use our 5 centimeter mark again, because that's where we've been stamping today, on a 5 centimeter grid line. Pick the stamp up. Let's reposition that. Whoops. I didn't look to see how high up I had that, did I? And then we'll ink this one up. And stamp that down. And there you have your reverse image. So this is the reverse, and this is the usual way it stamps. So you can see that it has reversed the image. So it's a little bit more subtle with this one, but you can see the leaves go off the other way. When you do the reverse stamping, you do get a bit of a lighter shade of color, just because it's transferring the ink from the silicone craft sheet. So it is a little bit lighter, but that's just another, yeah, that's just another one. Dimity said Memento doesn't wash out. Your dress now has a thank you stamp between your breasts. Oh no! Oh no, Dimity. Oh no, that's not good. Did you must have dropped your stamp, did you? I'm just having a look. Let me put my glasses on. Did you look on the back to see? I think because it's a, I think it's a solve. Is it? No, it's water-based, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't say anything about, so it just says acid-free. Oh, it says water-based. Acid-free, fade-resistant, water-based. Oh, I would have thought it would have washed out. What a shame. Dries on all surfaces, including coated and textured papers. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about washing it out if it gets on clothing, though, on fabric. Oh, shame. Oh, dear. It's always a good thing when you are stamping not to wear good clothes, or to at least wear an apron. Actually, did you know that as Stampin' Up demonstrators, we can actually purchase Stampin' Up aprons with the logo on it? I mean, you can wear any sort of apron, obviously. But yeah, Stampin' Up has aprons for demonstrators. So might be something that you could think about investing in, Dimity. Oh, what a shame. All right, so just dry my stamp off. So that was the last technique that I was going to show you, was the reverse stamping. And that was just the second time that I had done it. So yeah, I probably need to have a little bit more practice, but just to show you quickly, that's just another technique that you can use. So there you go. So lots and lots of different techniques with the Stampin' Positioner. So as I said, the only way that you can get it at the moment is by joining Stampin' Up and purchasing that starter kit, and Stampin' Up will add it automatically to your starter kit. Hang on a sec, I'm just going to turn the camera back up to my face while I'm talking to you. Here we go. Let me just flip this camera. Right, bear with me. I'm just repositioning everything. There we go. Oops, up in the sky. Down we come. Yeah, so as I mentioned, the only way to get the Stampin' Positioner at the moment is by joining Stampin' Up, and Stampin' Up will automatically add it to your starter kit. I talked about that at the beginning. So yes, it is water-based, Dimity, yes. Oh, you washed it twice, it still didn't come out. Maybe if you try a little bit of nappy sand or something like that, or maybe one of the stain remover sprays, whatever, I'm not sure what you use, but yeah, maybe try something like that and see if that helps. Oh yes, that's a good idea too, Leonie, yes. Leonie said we used to use acetate before the days of the silicone mat. Yes, so the Stampin' Up has the window sheets, which is the acetate, and you could use that for the reverse stamping technique too. So if you don't have a silicone, one of the Stampin' Up silicone mats, and you have some of the window sheet, you could certainly use that as well, and that is clear, so that also helps you to align things. You can see through it a lot better than, you sort of can see through this. I've got to clean that actually. You can see through this because it is opaque, but acetate, yeah, that's clear, so you can see exactly where you're placing things, so that might work easier with this technique. Thanks for that, Leonie. Yeah, that's a great tip. Fantastic. Yeah, so if you have any questions or there's anything I can help you with, please feel free to get in contact with me. I'm going to have more of a play with this, especially with that wreath as well, and have a little play with that wreath to get that working well. And yeah, have a play with, I've got a couple of other stamps up there that I was thinking I might be able to do an actual wreath with, but I'm not sure if it's going to work, and I didn't have time to play with it before I went live, so I thought I will not show that today, but I'll have a little play with that and see yeah, how that works. And when I finish this one, I will post this card on my Facebook page as well. So when I finish that card, well, when I put that card together. So yeah, if there's anything I can do for you, please feel free to get in contact with me. Let me know. If you would like more information about joining my team, please feel free to let me know as well. I'd love to have a chat with you about that. Yeah, so I hope you all have a fantastic week. Remember, I've got my next cards and cookies class coming up. And well, I've got two dates available. So yeah, so make sure that you register today, because the registrations are going to close at 9 p.m. tonight. And we'd love to have you come along and craft with us and have some yummy morning tea for our morning class, or afternoon tea for our afternoon class. And we'd love to have you come and have a bit of fun with us. All right. Remember about the free shipping as well. Free shipping is starting from tomorrow for 3 days with orders over $65 here in Australia. That's Australian dollars. It'll be different in the different markets. Free shipping for 3 days. Great time to save on your shipping with your orders. So remember that is happening. And yeah, I think that was all the news for now. So I look forward to seeing you all. I'll be back again next Monday, back to the normal schedule next week on Monday, which will be, I've just moved my calendar up, that will be the 23rd. That'll be the 23rd of February. Oh my goodness, where is February gone? I've been in Queensland for most of it, so actually I've been in Queensland for all of it up until this point, but I am home now, so as you can see, I'm back in my craft room. So have a great week, everyone. I look forward to seeing you all next week, and as I always say, happy crafting. Bye.